Welcome to the Grand Egyptian Museum in Cairo. More than 20 years in the making. As you approach the entrance to the museum, you can see the hanging obelisk. It looks more like a floating obelisk to me. The obelisk was moved from Tanis, where it was laying broken on the ground. The facade is covered with Egyptian marble extracted from the Sinai quarries, which was used by the ancient Egyptians in statues and the architectural elements in temples. The main entrance facade presents a series of cartouches containing the kings of Egypt to welcome all visitors. The museum is laid out in a grid pattern, separating the different eras and focusing on society, kingship, and beliefs. A colossal statue of Ramses the Great greets you in the entrance hall, flanked by two Ptolemaic dynasty statues and Egyptian Lego blocks, possibly used to tally or count certain activities. A view down the galleries. The dynastic Egyptians were capable of amazing craftsmanship, but they were also capable of claiming the works of earlier times as their own. Ramses was notorious for putting his name on earlier statues. A stele made of a repurposed slab of granite, possibly showing signs of wedge and chisel quarrying marks, where notches are chiseled into stones and wooden wedges are hammered in and then soaked with water, causing them to expand and split the rock. But the dynastic Egyptians only had bronze and copper, which is too soft to deeply chisel granite. The view of the Giza Plateau from the Grand Egyptian Museum. Amazing flared columns, probably from the Temple of Bastet, allegedly built during the Old Kingdom. I say allegedly as this requires the Old Kingdom to be more technologically advanced, especially when it comes to working with hard stone, than the later dynasties. This is inverse technology logic, as later generations were less advanced than the earlier dynasties. For a very interesting discussion on pre-dynastic technologies, check out Ben at unchartedx.com. A beautifully carved 4th dynasty box. Sharp right-angled edges, flat surfaces, and incredibly high level of precision. The later addition of rather crude hieroglyphs do not distract from the much earlier precise work. Not all boxes are sarcophagi. A Middle Kingdom sarcophagus with the feet made by Robert Liefeld. Akhenaten was not a vain pharaoh and chose to be presented as he really looked. Not the perfection other pharaohs chose for their representations. Akhenaten shows the physical signs of Marfan syndrome, possibly due to the incestuous marriage of his parents. Akhenaten, his daughters, and possibly even Tutankhamun, displayed elongated skulls, a sign of royalty or divinity in many early civilizations. A Sphinx. Apis bull with sun disk and uraeus. The Sphinx and Pyramids of Giza. The Sphinx shows extensive erosion, both sand, wind erosion, and horizontal and vertical erosion caused by rain and water. Much more erosion than is present elsewhere on the plateau, even though it is alleged that the 3 pyramids and Sphinx were all built within a 100-year period during the 4th dynasty. The head of the Sphinx was probably recarved during the 4th dynasty, as it is obviously too small and out of proportion to the body. I believe the Sphinx and Giza pyramids predate the 4th dynasty by up to 10,000 years. Thanks for watching to the end. Please smash the like and subscribe buttons, and please share. Egypt has amazing history, but it is not always presented in the best way, and garbage is a big problem. Fringe theories such as spherical Earth and the Earth orbiting the Sun have a habit of being proved true, so the pyramids being built in antediluvian times could be the next truth.